Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, welcome if you came over from TikTok. It's been a tiny bit since I last uploaded, I know that. In case you guys haven't seen, I've been super busy on TikTok. Yes, that was my own doing. I did sort of manifest a viral video. Yay. Hi guys, editing me here. I lost some of my footage. We are still at the tail end of Mercury retrograde from what I understand. So sorry. This video is going to be in 3 parts. I am going to put chapters down below, descriptions down below if you click through them. However, no matter which category you choose, I please ask you to watch the disclaimer regardless. It's important. It applies to every category, and please do not skip the disclaimer. So first I want to say this video is going to be in several parts. Now category 1 is just meeting a celebrity, basically as a fan. Category 2 would be to get a DM from a celebrity, and the third category would be to either befriend them or date them. Now I will be discussing several manifestation techniques. I am going to try and go a little bit into detail. I am probably going to make separate videos about every technique just so you guys can learn it outside of manifesting an SP, which is, by the way, what manifesting a celebrity is. But I just want you guys to learn, to have the option to pick the best technique for you. But there is no set way that you can do it. I go back and forth between techniques all the time. So there is no right or wrong way. I want you guys to know that and keep that in mind. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, I'm someone who's basically been around celebrities my whole life. My mother would be what you would consider a 90s socialite, but basically she was the trailblazer for me. She was someone who always, liked being around celebrities, liked mingling with them, and I was basically dragged along to parties where celebrities were since I was a little girl. I never knew any different. I've never really had a point where I felt like I was fangirling to the point where they were outside of me. You know how you see a celebrity almost like an entity outside of what we have going on? I never had that feeling, which does give me a little bit of an advantage, but I'm going to try and teach you as best as I can to get to that point as well. Now, one of the reasons why I want to make an in-depth video about this is because I also want you guys, and that's the thing with manifesting. It's not now that we're consciously manifesting, all of a sudden everything is going to be super peachy and super great. Manifesting a celebrity does come with negative aspects, and I want you to understand that. I want to go in detail about it, and one of the reasons why I want to go into this is not to necessarily scare you guys, but how are you supposed to manifest something away or prevent it from manifesting into your reality if you don't know about it? So this is basically me giving you a disclaimer warning that you need to be aware of these things, and if you really want to go down that route, you have to include that into your manifesting technique, if you will. Somehow I am going to get into that, but this is going to be open, honest, raw, and it's going to cover everything that I can think of because I only want to make this video once if I can. There are some videos about self-concept and others. I do have them up. I do want to upload and make follow-up videos, just kind of update videos on things that I've learned since, but this one will be the same all the way because this is something that I've been perfecting for a long time. Now, I also want to be making another disclaimer. If you are manifesting a celebrity that is already in a relationship, I want to tell you guys that I do not judge. If that's something you want to do, this is your reality, you're the creator of it, you are more than welcome to do so. I have my own personal opinion about this. I personally do not like to manifest people out of relationships unless I know that this is a specific third-party karmic person that you manifested into your life that is supposed to teach you a lesson, but that you are ultimately supposed to be with your specific person. I really just want you to think about, I want you to think about, why do I want to manifest a celebrity? Do I want to do it because I really think that they're a genuine person and that we would have a really great connection and that I'm energetically and otherwise aligned with them? Or do I want them because their celebrity status gives me something that I crave, like power, money, fame, security. Being with a celebrity can make you feel incredibly secure because they're almost like a commodity of power, if you will. They have this certain status about them that nothing else can really give you. Like, I remember when I was little, I would always imagine myself being around celebrities. And the reason why was because I was bullied really badly in school. And I just wanted it to like stick it to my bullies and be like, well, you bullied me, but look who I am and look who I hang around with. Like, screw all of y'all. You know what I mean? So I really, really want you to think about the motivation behind why do you want to manifest this person? Or if you are maybe just looking for someone like them, which you can manifest into your reality just as well. It doesn't always have to be this particular person. Like maybe they have the look that you like, or they have, personality traits that you really like. And it's really easy to dream and daydream about a celebrity, if you will, because they're so like accessible to you in a way, even though they're really untouchable and inaccessible. So I just want you to really think about that. And if you then make the decision, no, this is the person that I want, and I do want them even though they're in a relationship, I would please still advise you to manifest friendship with them first. The reason why I'm saying this is I do not want you to manifest them out of the relationship that they are currently in, only for you to realize that once y'all are together, you're not compatible at all. You do not want this person at all. And now you have broken up this relationship. And it's not about like them necessarily. It's about the fact that you have to live with this guilt. Does that make sense? I don't want you to live with guilt that is unnecessary. Manifest a friendship first. See if y'all really get along. See if they're really the way you think they are in real life. And then reassess moving forward. Now, I have to tell you a very, very short story. In order to prepare for this video, I was doing the dishes last night and I just thought about, because it's been a while since I personally manifested a celebrity, and I just wanted to use a couple of techniques, kind of refresh my memory a little bit so I could give you guys the best advice and to coach you the best way. So when I did my manifestation technique and I kind of went through the process, and to be fair, there's really no celebrity that I'm currently super, super interested in. There's a few that I would say I kind of energetically vibe with, but I just don't want to mess with people's feelings. So I didn't just randomly pick anybody, but there's been someone who's music I've been channeling recently, and I was like, okay, I don't know. I mean, this is already a connection that we have, so I might as well just use them. I was basically just trying to see how I would manifest a DM from them, but kind of in a talking stages. If I'm gonna go forward with that is another thing I really don't know. And that's the thing, you need to be persistent in what you do in order to bring it into your reality. So whether I'm actually gonna manifest that or not, I really don't know, because it was really just for training purposes to help you guys. But so I did that, and then a couple hours later, I went on TikTok and I was just scrolling through videos. I wasn't thinking anything. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to watch one last video and then I'm going to go to bed. And the video that popped up on my FYP was a tarot reading. And I've never gotten a tarot reading like this before. And this lady, she was talking about the fact that there is a high profile person that has a big following on this app that is watching my content and that is aware of me. And I was like, okay, that's how quickly it can go. If I wanted to manifest that, that would be a sign that whatever I was doing already started permeating my subconscious, and I could continue manifesting that moving forward if I wanted to. However, I do want to give a disclaimer in this situation. This person, first of all, they're kind of a little bit out of my age range, I'm not gonna lie. And second of all, this person has been through quite a bit of heartbreak already, and I don't want to put them through more heartbreak, you know what I mean? Especially if I'm not interested in them. And what I was using for demonstration purposes would have been very flirty, talking stages, puppy love kind of thing. So I really, really don't know if I'm gonna move forward with that. I did make a video yesterday and timestamp it just in case I do, so I can show you guys results. But yeah, that's basically how quickly it can go, just to give you guys an example. Okay, so let's get into category first, and that is meeting a celebrity. Now, I would claim that this is probably the easiest one to manifest, which I know sounds kind of weird, but I would definitely say probably the easiest. So the biggest celebrity that I've manifested was meeting Christina Aguilera. Now, I'm gonna see if I can find pictures. If I do, I will insert them here. And basically what happened was I entered a raffle where you could meet her, and I entered it the night before. Like the event was the next day. And if you know anything about events like this, they have to do head count, like they have to do security, they have to do all kinds of stuff. And this was from a radio station. So I actually looked at it after I came home, because the thing is this, so I entered this at like freaking midnight the day before, and the meeting was at 3 o'clock the next day, and it was 3.5 hours away from where I lived. So I entered it anyway because it was open when I found it, right? And the crazy thing is I was supposed to go on a date that night, and that person canceled on me, and I was heartbroken, which is why I couldn't sleep, which is how I then found this raffle giveaway thingy, which was totally random and out of nowhere. But Christina Aguilera was someone who I've always wanted to meet. So I know that I was kind of like manifesting her without manifesting her. And I looked at it after the fact, and the raffle was closed by the time I entered it. I got an email the next morning at like, I want to say like 9 a.m. or something like that. And they're like, hey, you won. And the crazy thing is it was so surreal to me. And you can like ask my mother about this, because I was living at home at the time. I was going back and forth so much about whether I should actually go, because it was so surreal to me. I couldn't believe that I won this raffle that I almost didn't go. I literally drove, and it was storming, like raining outside. It was nuts. But I literally last minute decided to go. I mean, Christina was like 2 hours late, which was so annoying because I needed to drive all the way back in like bad weather. I didn't want to drive in the middle of the night. I hadn't eaten. Like, I was really hungry, you know. I just wanted to go home. I mean, it was nice to meet her, but I really just wanted to go home. But I ended up meeting her. It was cool. You know, we chatted for a little bit. It was nice. So, I mean, there is that. But you never know how you're going to manifest something. So the first thing I want you to do is let go of the how. The how is not your job. The how has never been your job. You want something, you put it out there, you get it. Done. I don't care about the how. Just like when you're trying to manifest someone back into your life that you kind of haven't spoken with in a while, maybe because they hurt you and you're upset and you want an apology. What do you want an apology for? Only a victim wants an apology. A person who's standing in their power, who knows what they want, they just care about being treated correctly at all times. They just stand in their power. And an apology is like an acknowledgement you want from somebody because you need outside validation that your feelings were hurt. Does that make sense? And the crazy thing is, once you realize that and stop manifesting an apology, but start manifesting them in a way that they're going to treat you right, that apology is going to come on its own. Not because you're a victim, not because they feel forced to apologize to you, but because this person genuinely wants to please you and do right by you because of the amazing, incredible person you are. They're gonna apologize to you because you're on a pedestal, not because you're down in the gutters and they're trying to manipulate you or whatever. Does that make sense? I hope so. So, but one of the reasons why I believe that it's the easiest to manifest meeting them is because the one prerequisite that you need for the other two categories does not apply here. And we just talked about it, putting them on a pedestal. We all do it. It's kind of how celebrity works. But if you are just manifesting meeting them, you don't need to take them off the pedestal. You're manifesting as a fan, right? You just want to run into them, like say hi, take a picture, and you can stay a fan while doing that, okay? So that's how I, for example, manifested meeting one of my favorite bands. I'm gonna include a picture here. And I manifested that while like super fangirling over them. And yes, that is me. I manifested weight loss, by the way. I'm gonna talk about that too. I'm gonna make a series. I have so much stuff to do. Like, I want to get so much content out. I don't have enough hours in a day, but I'm gonna try. I have so much to teach you guys. It's unreal. And this is like the easiest thing, just because you don't have to work on your self-concept as much. The only thing you need to work on is basically your manifestation powers. Like, how much faith do you have in yourself to manifest something. I always recommend, if you are someone who is not really steadfast in their manifestation faith, like you don't have a whole lot of faith in yourself, manifest a cup of coffees every single day. Just do it for a week in a row. Keep going. If it doesn't work the first week, try the second week, or try other small things. Try to manifest consciously as many little things as you humanly possibly can. Try manifesting text messages, phone calls, not from your SP, because that could come with blockages you still need to work on. I'm talking about like someone you would talk to anyway. But let's say it may be someone you usually have to call first, or someone you just call first because you do it and you just want them to call you first. Or even better, if it's someone that you talk to on a regular basis where there's like no dynamic between are you guys talking or not, manifest a text message that says exactly what you want it to say. Doesn't matter what it is, just give it a try. Now, when it comes to manifesting this, just like when it comes to manifesting anything, you always need to look out for signs. Sometimes we can see there's this thing called birds before they land. And I remember I met one of my most favorite bands at a water park shortly before it was closing. I was on vacation. They were there for a concert. I had no idea because I had just seen them in concert a couple weeks prior. But my boyfriend at the time wanted to go home because we had been at this park for so freaking long. And I was like, you know what? No. I want to go on one last roller coaster. And I didn't know why, because we went on so many that day. But I just insisted that we go. And I had this feeling. I got my heart was racing. I got really, really anxious and nervous and excited. And then 2 minutes later, that feeling got amplified because someone was walking past me, and it almost felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. It felt like a serial killer was walking past me. But my boyfriend then touched me, and then I turned around, and all of a sudden it was my favorite band. They just walked past me. My subconscious knew it was coming, gave me a sign it was coming, warned me to pay attention, and I still didn't pay attention. So when they walked past me, it kind of smacked me in the face to the point where I then turned around and then recognized them. Okay, that's how it works. So always be on the lookout. You never know what might happen. Hi, editing me here again. There is a huge difference between being vigilant for signs and actively looking for signs in your 3D. If you don't know about mental diet, please go and look up some videos. I have some videos on TikTok. I am gonna make some stuff I might just do one right after this and just try and upload it. I'll definitely make one about it very, very soon because it's super important. But looking out for signs, as in being aware of signs, is not the same as, for example, going on Instagram and checking to see if they already messaged you. It's not the same thing. Okay, so if you're manifesting a text message, for example, you going and checking to see if it's already there would be a huge mistake and a manifestation block. Just like when I was manifesting my TikTok success, for example, my viral video. A friend of mine, she manifested a viral video first. It was my manifestation, but it was my birds before they landed because her video went viral the day before mine did. So always keep your eye open. You never know what might come in. Just like taking inspired action, I do not want you to go around and message them, stalk them. Don't do any crazy, creepy stuff. Manifestation means pulling it in, having things come to you. And a inspired action always comes from a place of deep knowing, of comfort. If you have to question yourself or ask someone else, should I do this? Or your answer of doing this is not a 100% waterproof, airtight yes, without weird gut feelings, then it's not inspired action. Then it's forced action out of a place of worry that it's not gonna come in. And instead of taking the action that you didn't want, you should go back and reevaluate your affirmations or assumptions to figure out why am I feeling this way and what can I fix it in order to bring my manifestation in after all. But no action, because this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Now, when it comes to techniques in order to manifest meeting them, there's two that I personally really like, and that's journaling and the telephone method. Journaling is pretty much self-explanatory. So you just write down every day. Past tense is preferable. How much like you loved meeting them, how happy you are. Again, the how doesn't matter, just the it, and just how excited you are. And just journal about it every single day. You can read it back, you can write about it, doesn't really matter. You can timestamp it with the day that you're writing it on. It really does not matter. I would always recommend you doing your techniques like in the morning and in the evening, and then just throughout the day, going about your day, but keeping a good mental diet. Because the way I see it is you never know when your manifestation is going to come in. It could be during the day. If you do it in the morning, you're setting yourself up to reality jump. And if you have not got your manifestation throughout the day, you're doing it again in the evening to set yourself up for things to happen overnight. And then you're just reiterating it in the morning. But you're not like blocking it by doing too much. There is a thing as doing too much, okay? Because living in the end means living in the end, not continuing to affirm just because it's not in front of my eyes when 5 minutes from now it could be. I hope that makes sense. And so if you're someone who doesn't like to journal, the telephone method is awesome. So basically you just pretend or like imagine. You can do this either sitting down, meditating, or whatever you want. I personally hate meditating with a passion. I love to do it. For example, when I do the dishes or chores or whatever, I literally put my phone in front of me and then just pretend to talk into the phone. Or literally just imagine talking into the phone, like not talking out loud, but like when nobody's home, I like to do that. Like when you're by yourself, go for it. If you do live with somebody, then you can do it in your head. Doesn't matter. They don't care whether your phone's in front of you or not. Like they're not going to question that. And just imagine you're calling somebody and you're telling them about how amazing it was, what happened to you. And you're going to hear them congratulate you back. And just telling you, you know, how awesome it is. And, you know, you guys are just having like a conversation about it, like really cute and fun. And then throughout the day, again, I want you to continue living your day as normal. But, so for example, something that I noticed I like to do is when just shortly after I met them, I usually find myself consuming a lot of their content a lot more than usual, like just to continue this euphoric, heightened feeling from meeting them, if that makes sense. So for example, if it's someone who makes music, I would listen to their music a lot more than normal. Or if it's somebody who makes videos, I would watch a couple of their videos back to back just to kind of like keep this connection that you have with them going, because you're still in their energy more or less. So just have a think about what you think you would be doing after you met them, and just incorporate that into your day-to-day life, because it kind of gets you into, you know, it kind of gets you energetically aligned with them a little bit more too. So, and it kind of permeates your subconscious a little bit more, which is, for example, why we have these incredibly intense parasocial relationships with YouTubers. The more times we watch them, the more our subconscious feels like we know them and they're kind of our friends. Right? So the closer you feel to them, that's why we say we have our comfort YouTubers. And because our subconscious can't tell reality from TV and like them not really having a relationship with us, it creates this bond, this emotional bond that we have with them. And when you meet them, you have this like extra step of having had it in your reality. And then when you kind of go away from it, it's almost like you're craving it and you're missing them. So you go and consume their content to like catch that feeling again, if that makes sense, to kind of stay in their energy a little bit longer. So just have a think about which one you think would apply best to you, and just do that throughout your day, however you can incorporate it. And that is basically how you manifest meeting a celebrity. Now let's get into category 2, and that is getting a DM from a celebrity. Now again, this is kind of where I more or less used my example. I took it a little bit further, and I kind of had this person blow up my phone a little bit. And I'm going to explain to you also why I did that, because there was like a reason behind it. I would say that this one is probably the most difficult to manifest out of the 3. None of them are hard in essence, but if you would rank them, this one would probably be the most difficult. And the reason why is because, so when you manifest meeting them, you manifest as a fan. That's cool. When you manifest a relationship with them, you are manifesting from a place of knowing them. You know, you can imagine touching somebody, for example, without them being in your reality, right? I mean, you know what it feels like you can even use a pillow and you can hug it, whatever the case may be. But manifesting a DM, there is no tangible thing you can touch. And also, you know that they have a big following and that there's probably like millions and millions of people that try to reach them, right? So you would know that messaging them, unless it's really, really intense inspired action, and I can tell you that from my experience, I've only ever had that once. And I did get a reply within 24 hours. So I did get immediate confirmation that what I did was right. But in general, if you want to do that, you have to come from a place of having enough faith that they know who you are. They found you in any which way, and you made such an impression on them that they want to message you first out of the millions and millions of people that they speak to or don't speak to, if that makes sense. And so with this, there are basically 3 barriers you have to work through. Number 1 would be the fact that they have a large following and a lot of fans and you're a nobody. The second barrier would be that other people are manifesting against you. They have a lot of fans. I mean, whatever, right? And the third one is that you are special enough as a person compared to the people in their life, because celebrities surround themselves with celebrities, right? They have a lot of options. They can pick whoever they want. And this is the thing, like the first one is about you being found, and the second one is about, like the third one, is about you being important enough, if that makes sense. So we are going to go through every single point, and maybe you guys can see now why I chose the YouTube video instead of the TikTok one, because there's so much ground to cover. But I want to cover it because I want you guys to get whatever the hell you want, all right? That's kind of what I'm here for. And this is the closest thing to me coaching you guys, by the way. Sorry guys, editing me here again. I don't know what is going on with this like Mercury retrograde. I know it's super unprofessional to put so many clips together, but I sat and filmed for over an hour and all this footage is lost, like at least what I'm putting in now. So I'm just gonna film it for you real quick. I do want to go into it a little bit more, obviously. So you have 3 categories, all right? You have the category of them having a large following and you like not standing out like amongst a crowd. You have the category of people manifesting against you, and then you have the category of you just being special enough in terms of like, you know, the people that they're around and this kind of stuff. So let's start with category 1 and 3. Why wouldn't you be special enough? I really want you to think about what makes you feel less than compared to every other person that they may follow or that follows them. And I don't want to hear any comments of like, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not successful enough. Who told you that? Who is the end all be all? Who measures that? Like, I just want to know. So for example, I used to work as a model and a like promotional kind of girl. I know I'm what they would consider conventionally pretty. I've never had Instagram success. Like my pictures never do well. And they haven't because I mean, this is also a limiting belief of mine, I understand that. But for example, I never really got a push because a lot of people in my life didn't really want to like support me in that way, which is fine. Like my following is now growing on its own, and that's great. But I also don't, even for the people that follow me, I get very few comments. Like I have like my small kind of group that, you know, likes to hype me up because we hype each other up. But it's not like I get millions of comments of people telling me I'm pretty. Does that mean that I'm not pretty? I would consider myself pretty. Like I like looking at myself. I don't see anything wrong with me. So and that's the thing, like we have to understand that 99% of our own self-concept, which is the way we see ourselves and we think the world sees us, is other people's opinion of us. You didn't wake up one day and told yourself you're not pretty. You don't grow up as a small child thinking you're not pretty or you're not good enough. Either someone told you this, and I don't care if it's a parent, a teacher, a friend who bullied you, society because you bought like beauty magazines if you are a 90s kid like me, and they told you if you're not tall, skinny, and like have a certain look. I mean, and that's the thing. I got turned down by model agencies because they told me I was too ugly and I didn't have the look. So there is no set standard to what is beautiful or what deems your success or what would be considered good enough. You're the one who decides whether you're good enough or not. Nobody outside of you can tell you that you're good enough. So start with, why do you feel that way? Like, where does it come from? And you will find really quickly it's not your own opinion. It's not you. You didn't just wake up one morning and decide that you're not good enough. Someone told you you're not good enough and it was a lie. And your brain picked it up and made it fact, even though it's not a fact. You are good enough, you're pretty enough, you're successful enough no matter what you do, you're smart enough. And I want you to tell this to yourself every single day in the mirror, okay? I want you to just sit down, just you and the mirror, okay? You and your reflection, you're the same thing, just energy, and just really, really have a deep conversation with yourself about who you are, okay? That's what I want you to do. And really, really try and figure out, like, where am I lacking and why? And who did this to me and why did they do this to me? Because when people tell us that we're not good enough, for example, or any of this other stuff, it's usually because something they lack within themselves. Okay, this doesn't even have anything to do with you. They're just projecting their own insecurities on you, and you took them and carried them with you. It's like you're already carrying a backpack and someone else who doesn't want to carry the whole of theirs gave you half of theirs, and now you're carrying a backpack and a half that isn't even yours to carry. So please do some work on that and try and figure out what it is. Now, when it comes to the people that are around them, automatically, oftentimes it's almost like the squad that Taylor Swift had. I wasn't a fan of that at all. I don't think she picked that out of, because they're all pretty and skinny. I think she was trying to replace the friendships that she didn't have when she was younger because she never got the chance to. But I also think that this was a case of vicinity versus, like, how am I supposed to put this? Those were the people that she was like, that were easiest to pull in, if that makes sense. Like, where they were the most susceptible to this concept that she was trying to build. And I think she just picked the ones that were, you know, quickest, like the most down to just go with that narrative that she was spinning. I mean, they're obviously not a squad anymore, so it didn't really last that long. I guess it served its purpose or whatever. But so just think about it. It doesn't mean that they're just surrounding themselves with these people because they're like actively choosing them. Okay, most of the time it's really just they all live in LA and they just all hang out, and that's just what it is. And you don't need to be in LA to be around them. Like, these people oftentimes come from very small towns and they love to go home. It's where comfort is, okay? These people oftentimes move to big cities and surround themselves with these people because those are business relationships. Those are not genuine connections. Very, very rarely they are. And if they are, you oftentimes see them like falling apart over business things. So just keep that in mind too. Like, you could be that one genuine connection that they crave and that they lack in their life, okay? So I would consider you not being like them a bonus. Again, you give every situation meaning, so give it the meaning that you want. Give it the positive meaning that it deserves. Now we're coming to the third part, or the second one technically, which is a little bit controversial, which is, what am I supposed to do if someone manifests against me? There's so many fans that are trying to manifest this person too, and I'm just who I am. One thing you have to understand about manifestation is that you are the creator of your own reality. Nobody can manifest against you unless you let them. I don't know if you've watched Stranger Things. I personally haven't. I was told that they are talking about the multiverse, which basically just means that there's an infinite amount of realities. And you have to see it from this perspective. There is a reality where every single fan that is manifesting them is with that person, okay? Which means that there is a reality where you are with this person, okay? They could all run parallel to each other, but you would never know because you're not in their reality. The people that are in your life are just reflections of your subconscious, okay? I always say that they're almost like an empty shell and you fill them with personality and action and reaction and all this kind of stuff, all right? And especially when you haven't believed that they're acting, that people are always treating you badly, but they're nice to everybody else, you will see that happening. Doesn't mean that that the other people have a different subconscious than you, and that's why that particular person acts differently towards everybody else except for you. No, you're still the reason why. You are always the reason why. Okay, so you have to allow or stop people from manifesting you. So to give you an example, I had a karmic in my life, and this person was trying to manifest against me. This person was even trying to like rope me in through like fake contact to get me to help them manifest against me. And I thought it was funny and hilarious because that's not how it works. Like, I intuitively knew not to react to this person because I knew it was them, even though it was for a fake account. So my intuition warned me that this was going to happen. But even if I would have taught that person, right, I could have given them a one-on-one coaching session. It would not have gotten them any results. It's my reality. I'm stopping you from manifesting, so it doesn't work. Does that make sense? Which is why I try to coach you guys so in depth and try to help you and teach you and tell you that I even manifest for you and do affirmations for you because I want you guys to be successful. But I also have this mindset that everybody who goes against me in a negative way or in a harmful way is not going to be successful. Just like all these people who commented on my how to enter someone else's dream video. They all said, I'm going to visit. There were a couple people who said, I'm going to visit you in your dream tonight. And I said, no, you're not. And they said, well, then it doesn't work. And I said, no, wrong. It works. I decided that nobody can visit my dream. So you not being able to is a sign that it works. Does that make sense? You decide what you allow. If you are living in a reality where or in a mindset where you feel like people can manifest against you and take this person from you, someone else will. Someone else will do that. You need to be steadfast in your belief that you are the only person that has power, which is why I, for example, love placebos. So I practice, for example, right? Sometimes I do like spells and stuff, not really like crazy things you see, but for example, when I want to cleanse myself, I take like a bath or whatever. I find water very energy cleansing. So I do things like that, or I burn incense or something. Like the practices that I do are not like crazy or anything like that. It's just little placebos that sometimes help me get over the hump of whatever I have going on when I have a bad day. And I feel like just using affirmations is not enough. And I do see some coaches who say, well, manifestation is really easy. You just need to feel good and just do your affirmations. I understand that, but this is someone who is speaking from years of experience. I'm trying to teach you. I've been in this game for 18 years, but I'm trying to teach you from a perspective of day one. This is day one, and you just learn how to manifest. Because telling someone it's so easy when you've been doing it for years comes from a place of a physics professor who has a PhD trying to explain physics to a high school student. It doesn't work, which is why I go so in depth into my videos, because I want you guys to learn everything and understand everything. I want no questions left unanswered. And I want you guys to be able to really have to just book coaching if you have a very unique specific situation that you need extra help with. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, sorry. Yes, you're the creator of your reality. So nobody can manifest against you, but you need to make that conscious decision, because we are programmed from very early on that we just need to, like, this is our reality and we just need to succumb to it, which is not true. So it can be very, very difficult to change that mindset, and it doesn't happen automatically. This is something you need to put hard work into. So please go and work on those affirmations. There is going to be a separate video because I want to make like just an affirmation video for you guys that you can listen to over and over again if you need to. That's kind of the point. This is just an explanation video, but I'm gonna put it into categories. So for you like in your case, you would be listening to the I would probably like put it under a manifestation category or something. But yes, but you need to understand the concept first, and the concept is nobody can manifest against you unless you let them. And why would you do that, right? Okay, I hope that helped. Back to the video. So again, in this case, this is just my personal preference. If there is a different manifestation method that you like, feel free to use it. Again, if you are someone who is really good at manifesting and who can just use your affirmations, do that. I just find that in this particular instance, it's a lot easier for people to use specific methods. So that's why we're kind of going through them. Again, journaling, great way to start. Like just writing about the fact that they DM'd you. You can even write down exactly what they said. Again, they don't have free will. Tell them what you want to hear. Second of all, telephone method. Same thing. Again, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a second about that. And the third one would be the whisper method. So I don't know, it's been going viral on TikTok, but basically the whisper method would be you would envision them sitting in a room. And obviously we kind of know what celebrities' houses look like. Most of the time they're sitting in a room. You go inside as a ghost. You like sneak up behind them. You lean down into their ear. You whisper into their ear 3 times what you want them to do, say. You can be very specific. You can be like, yo, you are texting me or your name, and you're telling me, oh my God, you are so beautiful. And then you go around, you kiss their forehead, you turn around, you walk outside of the room, and basically with the eyes in the back of your head, you envision them doing what you want them to do. So they would maybe take their phone from the table, like off the table or out of their pocket or whatever, and they would open, I don't know, just their phone, an app, doesn't matter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and they would scroll and they would go to your profile, and then they would, click on it and send the message and go on their merry way. So that's basically the whisper method in a nutshell. And whichever one you want to use is fine. However, when it comes to the telephone method, this is why I did this. So I'm going to explain to you what I did. So I was envisioning that I was on a FaceTime call with my friend while I was doing the dishes. I was going back and forth between like hearing it in my head and saying it out loud, which I was now told that the saying out loud thing is actually a neurodivergent thing. But it doesn't matter, whatever makes you feel comfortable. And then I was envisioning on top of that my phone was ringing in the background because this person was texting me. And they were texting me quite incessantly. Just kind of like in a cute kind of way. And I was telling my friend about it because we were obviously on the FaceTime call, and I was kind of asking my friend, I was reading the text messages to her, and I was asking her for advice on like what to say back. And her and I were having a bit of a laugh about the fact that this person is having a little bit like the case of like puppy love. Now, the reason why I did this is because it takes them off the pedestal. We talked about this, but it puts you on the pedestal instead. There's always going to be someone who is on a pedestal. We're never going to be equal to anybody. It's just the way things are. We consist in a system of hierarchy. And it's always going to be that way. So you will never be able to not rank somewhere. Like every relationship has a dynamic, every relationship. So I did that to kind of lighten the mood a little bit and to kind of hype myself up. So, she was kind of making a joke and saying like, oh my God, well, why wouldn't they? And then she would rattle on stuff about me. That's like great. She would hype me up, and we were talking about it and making jokes. While this person figuratively, I don't know. They were pretend texting me in the background, okay? My brain is tired today. I had a migraine this morning. I woke up really, really sick. I've been manifesting it away all day. It keeps getting better like every hour, but I'm kind of annoyed. I wanted it gone like within the hour that I decided I wanted it gone. Like migraines is something that I'm still working on, trying to manifest away. I'm getting a lot better now, and I don't have to take pain medication anymore, but it's not perfect. But I'm still sitting here. Like I was puking up my guts this morning, but I'm here right now. So there you go. And I think I look okay. Anyway, we were joking about the fact that this person is like kind of in puppy love with me, because especially with celebrities, they're used to being adored by others. When that is the case, we for some reason have this mindset that they cannot adore anybody back. It's almost like they're in this bubble where everybody is just like a spectator, but they're this untouchable person, which is why, again, they oftentimes date celebrities, right? But that is not true. Like they can fangirl just as much. We get reminded of that when they tell us about somebody that they're like fangirling over. But but just in a general sense, when we think about them, it's not something that we would connect to a celebrity, because it's like, well, they're a celebrity. Why would they like be a fan of anybody? They could meet anybody in the world, right? But they can't. It's kind of not how it works. Like if you've ever if you guys have seen the is it Excuse Me, I Love You? I don't know, the Ariana Grande Netflix documentary, where she was invited by Mariah Carey to sing with her, and she talked about how much of a fan she was and how like great of an opportunity it was, how she was trying to impress her, and how this was like a huge deal meeting her. Ariana Grande is one of the biggest celebrities, one of the biggest singers of our time. Don't you think that if she would have had the chance to just randomly meet her because she's a celebrity, she would have, if that is her idol? Just have a think about that. So yeah, but by me doing that and me, you know, joking with my friend about how much this person adores me, it put me on the pedestal. All of a sudden, I became the celebrity in this scenario. And that's like the ultimate thing you want to achieve. If you can put yourself in their position and bring them down to a normal SP level, you already got them anyway. That's the easiest thing you can do. And then you can even go a step further and think about, you know, how would you guys communicate? Are you guys in different time zones? Are they maybe busy? Are you busy? You know, just kind of think a little bit about how you guys would interact, if you would even interact. If you just want a one and done, then you can do that too. Just have a think about what it would be like if you got their message already. Would you be sharing it with people? Would you be sharing it with the world? Would you maybe keep it your tiny little secret because you don't want to get hate from that person's like fans? Would you tell family, friends? Like, what would you do? Would you go to bed at night being like super happy and excited, maybe dreaming about it? Would you maybe, again, consume more of their content? What would you do different if you already got the text message or the DM? That's what you need to think about. And the last and final point in this would be, we talked about, well, why would they DM you? And I hate to bring this up because I don't like this person. I've never liked this person. I've never supported this person. And this person has done some stuff we're not even gonna bring up because I don't want to get demonetized, but I would rant on for hours being pissed off about this. James Charles. Okay, let's talk about James Charles. How many people, how many fans has he DM'd or DM'd back? Do you think he's the only person who does that? Do you think that just because someone is a celebrity, their For You page works differently than ours? Like, do you think their recommended page on Instagram works differently than ours? We're all the same. We're all connected energetically. There is no reason, not a single goddamn reason, that is good enough as to why they would not pick you out of a crowd. Not a single reason. And the reason why people were so upset with James, outside of the minor stuff we're not gonna get into, is because he was abusing his power dynamic. Because like we said, it's a hierarchy, it's a power dynamic. I did the laughing exercise because I knew that in order to manifest this conversation, I need to not be upset about the power dynamic. I just switched the power dynamic. Yes, there is a power dynamic. There's a power imbalance, but the imbalance is on my side. Like the scale is weighed towards me, not towards them. So whenever you manifest something or you want to manifest something and you encounter a block that you deem incredibly inconvenient or somehow a huge roadblock you don't know how to get around, don't get around it. Either manifest it out of the way. Again, the how is not your job. Or take it and use it to your advantage. Turn it around. Why in the hell would you not be the one in control? You're Johnny Depp said it best when he just got TikTok recently. And he uploaded a video and he said, I am so grateful to all of you guys because you guys are my employers. You're their money bag. I don't think people understand how much power they have over a celebrity unless they try to cancel them, which I have my own opinions about cancel culture. I think it's very toxic and I think it's very guilty until whatever, it doesn't matter. But we only ever understand how much power we have when we get into cancel culture. Although there are some people who should get canceled, but that's neither here nor there. But we are in control at all times. It's not always just a negative. It's a positive. So you want to go and manifest that DM, go and manifest that DM. Now, one thing I do want to say is, especially when it comes to DMs, having a good mental diet is so important. Now, if you are someone who is on social media a lot, especially Instagram, it can be really, really tricky to keep a good mental diet, because the second you open up the app, or if you have your notifications on, you will see whether this person messaged you or not. If you are someone who cannot differentiate between that and does get upset every single time you open up your app, you need to get off of the app for a couple days. Or you need to turn off your notifications or something, anything to the effect where you will still be able to get the message once it comes in, but not in a way where you are constantly checking it, because constantly checking it will block it and take it away from you. So I'm, for example, someone who has trained themselves to manifest anything I want within 3 days or less, without fail. If I do not get my desired result within 3 days or less, that usually means that there's something wrong in my self-concept. So I try and look for whatever it is I need to fix. I go in and fix it, and then I keep going. So especially when it comes to messages and DMs, you will probably get signs like I did with the tarot reading before the message comes. So it's very important that you're patient, that you work on your self-concept, that you keep affirming, and that you keep a crisp, clean mental diet, please. Because it will happen. It's just a question of how much are you working with the universe and your subconscious, which is technically one and the same. And that's one of the things that we do a lot, which is why a lot of people don't really understand why some things come to pass and some things don't. So let's say, for example, I would stop affirming for this person to DM me today. There is still a very high chance that this person might DM me or watch my stuff, or I would get more signs. This would be a case of starting to consciously manifest and then giving up on the manifestation and letting the chips fall where they may, which is how we manifest 99% of the things if we're a subconscious manifester. If we're a conscious manifester, we're taking a lot more control. I mean, if I'm at a point where I really don't care anymore, I wouldn't care whether the DM came in or not. I would just let it go and try and manifest something else. You just need, if this is what you really want and you want to be in full control of the outcome, you need to be consistent. Okay, and last but certainly not least, let's talk about manifesting friendship or relationship with a celebrity. Now, something that I would always recommend you do first, regardless of whether that's a celebrity or not, unless this is someone you know like really, really well and you're kind of already in a place where your dynamic, like your power dynamic is pretty good, and I don't believe that this is something that anyone's taught before. Maybe if they didn't, I apologize. Have a thought transmitted conversation with them, please. So you can do this really, again, at any point in time. Again, I personally don't like to meditate. If you are someone who can meditate, that's fine. I would not recommend doing this before bed, just because there's a very, very high chance you might drift off to sleep. And if you knock it off, please. And if you do it in your dreams and you may not remember your dreams, it's kind of counterproductive as to why I want you to do this. So I would just recommend trying to do it throughout the day. And that's the thing, you can even be in a state of flow. You can do something that you enjoy, or even just mundane chores, something where you don't have to use your brain. And then tap into them energetically. So you can either do it right away, or you can ask your spirit guides, like whatever you prefer. And you would be like, hey, I want to have a conversation with this person, and you basically envision them sitting across from you or helping you do the task or whatever it is, and then I want you to talk to them. I want you to ask them about their fears. I want you to ask them about their dreams. I want you to ask them about their insecurities, things that you wouldn't know just from watching them on social media or in movies or songs, right? Just having like a really, really deep, in-depth personal conversation with them. And there's a couple reasons for that. The first reason is I want you to do this because I want you to kind of see why you might have chosen this person to manifest, what kind of connection you guys have, just to kind of tap into and see, like, do we have anything in common? You know, is this someone I can even relate to? Is this someone whose energy I actually do vibe with? Or is this something that is this the person that I assumed that they are? Because again, yes, everybody is a mirror of us, and yes, everybody is just an assumption of us. But this is also a person that you kind of never met, and your assumptions change on the daily about this person due to all the input that you're getting from everybody else who's always talking about them, right? Drama channels, whatever the case may be. And the second reason why I want you to do this is because it humanizes them for you. It brings them down onto your level, right? It makes it a little bit easier for you to, and that's the thing, like, yes, I want you to put yourself above them, but in order to get that, you need to create equilibrium first, right? You guys need to be like this, right? You don't want them here, you want to be here, but you don't want to be here, you want to be here. Like, I think that's pretty good. And when you find out about things that make them vulnerable and a person outside of what they present social media, well, A, it makes them easier to manifest. B, you kind of know a little bit better what you might be getting into if you do enter a friendship or a relationship with them. And C, just in general, it might make you a little bit more open and empathetic to what celebrities have to go through, and just the kind of people that they are, and just people in general. You know what I mean? Like, you can learn the most about people when learning about their pain first. So that I would always recommend you doing prior to even considering manifesting them, and just kind of see what comes up, because you have to understand that everybody was just like you, and everybody is still like you. But especially if this is someone who became famous over time, they started out where you were. And that's why it's so important to bring everybody down onto the same level. And I would wager that 99% of celebrities probably would prefer to date a non-famous person. Now, when it comes to techniques, again, there's really no limit as to which technique you can use. I don't know if you know this, but you can even envision them going to bed with you at night, laying next to you. You could reach out your hand, touch a pillow, and pretend that it's them, their arm or something. When it comes to your celebrity, have a think about what your day-to-day life would be if they were an active part of it. So can you look up their schedule? What would they be doing at any point in time? If they, for example, go to the gym every day at 5 o'clock, what would you do within that time? Okay, I don't want you to sit at home and wait for them to text you. I want you to be productive. I want you to think about, do they live in a different state? Do they live in a different country? What kind of time difference would there be? How would we communicate? When would we communicate? How often would we see each other? Would we live together? Would I have to relocate? Would I have to change my job? Do I set the dinner table at night? And then on the flip side of it, I also want you to think about, how would my social media following change? How would my life in general change? How would this affect my family? Do I might have to give up my job? Would I maybe lose my job? Does this person have a lot of crazy fans that are very possessive over them? Am I gonna get a lot of hate? Are they gonna try and dig up stuff about me from the past? Do I have any skeletons in my past that I need to be worried about? How difficult is it gonna be? Or do we gonna have to deal with paparazzi? You know, do I have to get ready in the morning in a different way because we will never know who's gonna take pictures of me? Can I still go, to the trash can and wear sweatpants? Do I have to get ready differently now? And that would be something that you would implement right away. Like everything that you can implement right now without them actually physically being there, you would do that right away, living in the end. Those are all things you need to consider. Every single part of it. Because the problem with, or the difference, it's not a problem, it's a difference. When you manifest a specific person and your guys' relationship just doesn't work out anymore, you break up and you move on. If you date a celebrity, that might not be an option for you. You might be under the microscope for a lot longer than you like, and then you realize, which is why I made this huge disclaimer for you guys to think about, is this what I really want? And that's the thing. You can then manifest yourself like disappearing into obscurity again, but how realistic is it for you though? Just given what you know about celebrities and people that they dated. Like there's this girl that I follow on TikTok, she does, I'm serious about, like Are they still emo or not? She brings up band members' girlfriends from like 15 years ago. They still have a large following, even though they're not dating them anymore and they're a technical nobody today. They're literal nobody because they were somebody in the MySpace era. But people still follow them today and still know who they are today. So you just have to think about how powerful is my faith that if this does happen to me and then I realize I don't want this anymore, that I can then manifest obscurity again. Okay, because what you don't want is putting in all this effort into dating them and manifesting this only to revise all of it as if it never happened. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, then if that's something you think about doing, then just don't do it in the first place. That's a waste of your time. A literal waste of your time and everybody else's time. So that's not even worth thinking about. This is why I say be careful. My mother always said, be careful what you wish for, you might get it. And she's not wrong. So just keep that in mind. And if you, however, feel confident enough and secure enough, then that is something you can definitely do. But then again, for example, if I were to manifest a celebrity relationship right now, I have a following of sorts, but the question is, would you care? And the question is, have you had success happen to you before in a way where something you made went viral and all of a sudden you have these people come to you? Now, for example, if you go into my videos, you will see I have very, very little negative hate comments, but I affirm for that all the time. And the minute I stopped affirming for it, all of a sudden the trolls came out. So then I had to go back in and reaffirm it. You constantly, consistently have to keep going and keep affirming. And especially when you date a celebrity, there's going to be a lot of blockages, especially when it comes to self-concept, that are going to come up for you, that you're consistently going to have to work through. It is a more difficult relationship, not because of the person, but because of what surrounds them. So please, please, please just bear that in mind. And so one of the last techniques that I'm going to share with you today, which is a really, really fun one and a really cute one, and one that actually works incredibly well and incredibly quickly. It's something that I find works overnight because you're supposed to do it at night. If it doesn't work for you right away, again, all of these techniques that I teach you, you do them every single day until your manifestation is here. And again, please also include self-concept work. Always hype yourself up, always work on your blockages, always work on your limiting beliefs, your shadows, your traumas. That's like a given. Another technique that you can do is you go to sleep at night and right before you go to bed, you pick a very small scene and it should only be like maybe 30 seconds to a minute max. And you just keep replaying it over and over and over until you fall asleep. Now, this scene should represent something that implies that what you're trying to manifest is already here. And to give you guys a little bit of an example of a celebrity doing that and how they did it, I think that Pete Davidson is one of the best manifestors. This man is pulling the most beautiful, successful women left and right. It's absolutely insane the way he manifests. I think that Ariana Grande taught him. Careful, however, Ariana Grande uses law of attraction, not law of assumption, and we do not do law of attraction here because it's not real, in my opinion anyway. And he pulled Kim Kardashian, okay? And not out of free will, I want to say. I've been kind of come into contact with a lot of their content recently, and I saw that Kim gave an interview on her Hulu show, which I saw right after I watched Aphrodite, who is an incredible celebrity tarot reader on here if you do want to watch him. He's really, really great. Shout out to him. And he did a reading on them. And he talked about the fact that Kim was like not really into Pete that much. She was more in for like casual. And she gave an interview confirming that and said, you know, I thought he was cute. I just wanted to hang out, like just casual fling. And she said that he said to her, that's okay. I'm used to it. I'm paraphrasing. Just give me a couple months. I'll grow on you. You'll become obsessed with me in no time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an affirmation. That is an affirmation. This man knows what he is doing. And she also talked about the fact that he took what I would consider uninspired action. He asked Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox for Kim's number, and they said, no way, no how, you're not gonna get her number, she's never gonna give you the time of day, and you guys are not gonna go get together. It's funny because Aphrodite actually talked about the fact that there's also another reason behind it, because MGK is afraid that Kim will break Pete's heart, which is possible, but I have a feeling he's gonna rebound pretty quickly because Pete knows how to do that. But he didn't get her number. So Kim then said that she just couldn't stop thinking about him because he was thinking about her. He took uninspired action. It didn't work, and then he started manifesting. I'm telling you guys, this is how it happened. Hand to God, I would sell my butt for that's how it happened. And she said she could not stop thinking about him, so she called the producers and asked for his number and then contacted him. So Kim made the first move, and she also talked about how everybody, after they filmed SNL together, that he did not show up to her party. I would consider that inspired action. He knew instinctively, intuitively, that Kim was someone who was not used to her ground being worshipped on. Every other person would have come to that party and saying, oh my God, it's Kim Kardashian, of course we're coming. But he's like, well, I'm Pete Davidson, have you seen me? He didn't put her on a pedestal. Yes, he is approaching her from a little bit of a fan perspective because he knows that the women that he dates are more successful than him, but he's not putting them on a pedestal. He's putting them kind of equal. And then when he has them pulled in, he ups up the ante, right? And he's like, well, now I have you. Now let's go into high gear and get you obsessed with me. The reason why I think he is incapable of keeping the women is because he has borderline personality disorder. I don't think that's a secret. And that can sometimes mess with our self-concept and our affirmations because he might let his intrusive thoughts run. And he is also taking uninspired action due to trying to find this sense of security. So Aphrodite talked about the fact that he wants to propose to her and have kids. Kim has 4 kids already. Kim was married 3. She talked about the fact that she might get married for a 4th time to Pete. She was addressing that. But I think that Pete is not, when it comes to big gestures like that and big life altering things, he takes a lot of uninspired forced action versus manifesting it in. But he's a great example of how to pull them in the first place. So let's take my situation, for example. So this person lives in a different place than I do. So if I wanted to manifest them in, I would visualize my doorbell ringing, me going to the door, opening it, and then standing there. And like with a bright smile, right? And I don't know, a little gift or something. And then just coming in and like hugging me real tight and telling me how much they miss me, and they just wanted to see me. So they just flew out to surprise me. That, for example, would be a great scene of manifesting what you want, not putting a specific like pressure on the how, and also not putting specific pressure on the parameters of your relationship. Now, if this person is just hugging me, even if this person is giving me a kiss on the cheek or something like that, I'm still not putting in pressure, whether we're in a committed relationship, we're friends, we're in the talking stage, like it doesn't matter. There's no limit to when this person can do that. They could talk to me for 2 days, right? 2 freaking days. We could not even be dating. We could not even be in the talking stages of dating. They could literally do that tomorrow. So I always like to use scenes that give you the exact feeling that you want, that give you the end result that you want, but that do not tie you to outside circumstances, if that makes sense. Because this situation could happen at any time, and then they could maybe come in. And that's something that you don't need to visualize then anymore. That's something you would do when they were here. And then maybe you guys would sit down and have a conversation, and maybe all of a sudden you're in the dating stages, you're in the talking stages, you're freaking, they're taking you out on a date and asking you to be committed to them. Your options are limitless after that. So just try and have a think about what would get you to that feeling. Or maybe they would ask you, do you want to come visit me? Can I fly you out? Whatever it is that you wish to happen between you and your person that gets you into the stage where you feel important and where you feel chosen by them. That's the ultimate goal that you want to achieve feeling wise, is being chosen by them. I know this was a very, very long video, guys. I do apologize. I mean, I kind of do and I kind of don't. I know this was very important. I know there's a lot of people who wanted to know this. I really, really, truly hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, please, please, please leave a comment. Anytime, please leave any comment. So I really hope this helped you guys. Like this video, give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you are not subscribed to me yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I am gonna upload a lot more on here. I also have a subliminal channel if you are interested. Subliminals are one of my all-time favorite ways to manifest. It just works so well. I might make an explanation video on here exactly how I use them, because I find when I do use them, I get the quickest results, usually within like 24 hours. And what else? Oh, I also have a tarot channel. I do tarot readings. I am still bookable for coaching and tarot at the moment. So if you want to book a session with me, it's email and it doesn't expire. So if I'm able to answer all of your questions in one email, you have plenty of emails left for any part of your life whenever you need help, because I want to help all of you guys. And like I said, tarot readings, just to kind of see where your subconscious is at. Also, obviously, on TikTok if you're not from TikTok. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.